So greetings and Somaste. Somaste is a new greeting from Deham Yoga Soma teachings. And it means, Soma means body, Aste means affirming or honoring. So meaning of Somaste is, I honor my body, the container of the essence of life. Because if you really look inside us, only entity which is alive is the body. Our emotions and our thoughts are merely memories. So honoring the body. And now the words of right care. Right care for my body, feelings, intellect, and wisdom. Right care for my family, community, country, and earth. Let this right care come from a sense of love, oneness, and action. Let this right care take me to the bliss of conscious existence. I affirm it, I affirm it, I affirm it in my body self. So what we are going to do is explore about the program which we are offering. It's a very new, very unique program. And I will be speaking some and some visuals. And after that, if you have any question regarding it, I'll be very happy to answer, and also Matt and Kristen. So first question is, what do we want to achieve from yoga? We are interested in yoga. What is our goal? Is it relaxation of the body, less stress, more calmness, regulation of our emotions, a little more peace, better sleep, dealing with a chronic pain, or something else? Yes, of course, we want to achieve all that. But the primary goal of yoga is to attain the peak of life and consciousness. So we reach a point of the peak energy and also consciousness. Because those are the two elements of life, energy and consciousness, all across the biological world. Why we want to reach there? Because then we can live in peace, in well-being, in wellness, have creative vitality. And also we become free from fear, guilt, and trauma. Trauma is very important because there are only very few who are not carrying one or other type of trauma. So that is our goal, the peak of our energy and consciousness. Of course, in traditional yoga, it is called samadhi. And not only that, we must develop a capability to become a nucleus of change. So one thing is that I'm doing it for myself, but based on my experience and knowledge, I want to create a better world, becoming the architect of a better world, better society. And particularly in contemporary scenario where there is so much of social, economic, political upheaval. Everywhere there is a turmoil, there is a war, there is a violence. So that is what we want to do, that, okay, I want to attain all that in me. And then I become the center of change. Do we achieve that goal? Because there are hundreds and thousands of yoga teachers. And in last 30 years, I was personally in contact with at least 400 or 500 of them, because I taught all over the world, but particularly in Rishikesh, India. And there was a problem. And the problem was that despite all those 200 hours, 500 hours, they themselves didn't change dramatically. And what they followed was very limited. Of course, they were very good in yoga poses, yoga asanas, no doubt about it. Alignment. They were very good in certain kind of breathing. And they also developed skills in meditation. But beyond that, there was very little understanding. Because that was just only a fraction, a small component of yoga. The later stages, which actually makes us free, absolutely and unconditionally, was very difficult for them to understand. And the one reason was they were following a tradition which is very ancient, and that is beautiful. It is so meaningful, but it has to be interpreted. It has to be expressed in a very different way. Because that language is very cultural, that experience is regional. It belongs to a different era. It contains all the truth. But somewhere it has to be different, because in last 2000 years, our world is changed so much, and particularly in last 300 years since the age of enlightenment in Europe. Because if we don't do that, we won't get the full benefit of it. So I taught not only Hatha Yoga or eight-limbed yoga of Patanjali, but also Nad Yoga and Kundalini Yoga, because these were big courses, 200 to 300 hours teacher training program. And people came from all over the world, very committed. But still, I felt a sense of disappointment in myself that somehow I couldn't convey the essence, that you have to master the entire yoga, not only a fraction of it. And you have to become a change maker. So for that, we have to find a common ground on which we can all stand, understand that language, and also practice in such a way that it becomes 24 hours practice. Means life becomes practice. How many people can afford 2 hours, 4 hours, or 5 hours every single day when we are busy with our family, with our education, with our jobs? That is why Deham Yoga was created. So Deham Yoga actually is the meeting point. So now I would like to show you some visuals for a clear understanding. So I will share my screen with you. Everybody can see it? Right. Intermittently, sometimes internet becomes unstable, so please endure with that. Deham means body, and brain is one of the organs of the body. So when we talk body, body means body and brain. In Deham Yoga, it is the awakening of body's wisdom, which is more than 3 billion years old. Its foundation was laid down with the emergence of first cell on earth. So Deham Yoga is based on body and based on science. Why science? Because science is the universal language. You go to east or west, south or north, it doesn't matter. If you have the language of science, you can communicate. Why body? Because body is the most tangible and only living entity with us. So in Deham Yoga, when the awakening of body's wisdom happens, body will open its doors. It will allow you to access its full wisdom and intelligence. And it is not randomly put also. It is a result of decades of research, which is condensed in Soma teachings. I'll explain it a bit later, but let's move to the next. So please don't think that by more focusing on the body and science, we are going to neglect ancient wisdom. All of that ancient wisdom of yoga will be interpreted and explained through Deham Yoga. So you will be able to question about any yoga. So once we are going through Deham Yoga, you can ask question about Kundalini Yoga. You can ask questions about Nad Yoga. You can ask question about Hatha Yoga or Patanjali's eight-limbed yoga, hot yoga, Shivananda yoga, Yin yoga, it doesn't matter because Deham Yoga will give you the core understanding. If I understand the fundamentals, then I can respond to any question. Because it is not a fragmented approach. It is a wholesome approach. Because the beauty of body is not merely the body. It is the confluence of the three universal or cosmic forces. It's amazing that these three cosmic streams meet in this 5 feet 7, 8-inch body. That is why somebody said that this body is a micro-universe. And what are those three forces? Matter. Matter, body's frame. My bones, my flesh, my hair, through which I move into the world. Second component, second force is energy, which keeps me alive. The moment this energy goes out, I'm finished. Third is consciousness. Each cell of the body is conscious. So now you can see that if I really understand this body, and most people don't understand because in science, they just talk about the very physical part of the body. In many traditions, they ignore the body. You have to go beyond the body. Not knowing actually, once you are able to access this body's intelligence, you are tapping into matter, energy, and consciousness, not only at personal level, at universal level. Universal energy, universal consciousness, universal matter. And with that short introduction about the body, the unique features of Deham Yoga is it is accessible to all ages, body types, and conditions. Why? If you go into normal, yoga poses, classical yoga poses, many people can't do it. A person who is 90 years old, a person who has a large body, a person who is very stiff, had chronic pain, it is not accessible for them, it's difficult. But what happened in Deham Yoga, we are combining all the classical poses plus adding another types of poses which we call somatic poses or somatic yoga, which actually comes from body's own feeling and intelligence. So that means it can be done by anyone without injuring the body. So that is number one. Number two, all practices except certain yoga practices, the goal is to intertwine with the life. So I'm waiting in a waiting room at my doctor's office. I'm buying a coffee, Tim Horton lineup. I'm at custom at airport. I'm traveling on the passenger seat of a car, or I have just 2 minutes. Actually, we can do our practice because they are meant in such a way they become the part of life. Because if I really want to achieve something very high, I have to practice a lot, but I cannot set aside many hours. So in Deham Yoga, practices are done in such a way, cooking, cleaning, walking, waiting, traveling, it doesn't matter. Or even during the night, even in the dreams, or when you wake up. So that is the nature of the practice. And these are the two types of poses. So first one is painting. You can see these are the classical poses. The second one is somatic yoga. You can see in this, everyone is doing different pose depending on your body type, because some people are very young and some people are 75 or 80, but there is no problem. So in a single session, 10 people doing 10 different poses, but it will be combined with classical yoga. And these are the somatic practices which will be introduced beside yoga poses or breathing or meditation. That is only one part, practice. The second part is even more important, and that is the element of self-knowledge. Not taught in many programs, yoga programs, because I am living in this world through my mind and body. I have to understand this mind and body means self-knowledge. How I get that self-knowledge? What is the importance? If I understand my mind and body, I can have a self-care plan about how much to sleep, how much to exercise, what to eat, what kind of work is good, what kind of relationship, hygiene, home, all those questions. So second pillar of Deham Yoga is understand my mind-body personality with which I was born. Because if I'm taking care of myself based on my unique personality, means I'm practicing yoga throughout the day. Because self-care means from sleep to food to exercise to relationship to work. everything. And this personality basically opens the door to my vital energy. And the experience of that is state of flow. So these are the two components, practice and understanding my personality. And the beauty is, if I understand my personality, I will be able to understand other people's personality also. My children, my spouse, my co-workers. If I understand that, my life will be easier. It will be such a good communication. So this is a self-care plan component of Deham Yoga. Then another important component is that we go through 5 traumas of life. These are the 5 trauma, transgenerational trauma called epigenetics, trauma in the womb, birth trauma, physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And final trauma is social and cultural conditioning. So, how to understand that trauma, its effect on me, and how to heal? That is a basic element of Deham Yoga teachings. And as we know, it was a problem before, but after COVID, our world is suffering from 2 fundamental problems. The first one is emotional and mental health problem, and second is climate crisis, environmental crisis. And they are intertwined. If we don't feel well, we want to consume more and more because we want pleasure in life. Without pleasure, we cannot live. High consumption and emotional and mental dissatisfaction, they are intertwined. So that is where during Deham Yoga, we will go through in details, applying all the yoga principles to attain a good emotional and mental health. Also, we are going to explore various levels of consciousness and samadhi, because as you know that consciousness is not just one. It has many levels. But this level will be explained in a very simple scientific term, in a very layperson's language, very easy to understand, and connecting it to the brain. So that is another element of Deham Yoga. And also chakras and kundalini, but in a very different way. Because chakras and kundalini is nothing else but the total evolution of individual human being and our universe. So you will get a very clear understanding that where you are in your evolution by understanding chakra and kundalini, and also our world, where it is going. So it will be a very scientific explanation of chakra and kundalini connected to our brain and body. And of course, we have excellent faculty beside myself, Meera, yoga teacher, meditation teacher working with us, Crystal, who is here, and Monica is not here, she's in London, and Matt. So we will have 5 teachers, 5 faculty, all very experienced and ready to help. And also, personally, I will say that I don't consider it as a commercial venture. Okay, you did your 200 hours and goodbye. No. The whole idea is that now once we are connected for the life. Means if you are taking this journey to its peak, we will always be there to help. It is not a guru-disciple relationship. It's a teacher-student. But idea is when a student becomes the teacher. If you go into a lot of researches, once you start teaching, the learning maximizes. By listening, you only learn 10%, 15%. By teaching, you learn 90%. But come up to that level, we are with you. Wherever you want to go with it, we'll accompany you. So with that, I think I will invite Crystal now to explain some nitty-gritties.
Thanks, Jivasu. I hope that you all are enjoying what Jivasu has shared. Just like he said, I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty. So I'll talk about what we're going to cover a little bit more. We're going to do some classical yoga poses as well as the somatic yoga poses. We're going to teach you some breathing techniques, the Soma breathing techniques and the Hatha breathing techniques. Mira as well is going to teach us some somatic meditation practices. We're going to learn some kriyas that are connected to Kundalini, and we're going to learn some chanting. And then we're going to go a little bit in depth with our teachings and learn about the history of yoga, the evolution of life, learning about Soma and the body science for complete health and transformation, the 4 essential questions in Soma, 2 pillars of Soma. So lots of somatics in Deham here. Like Jivasu said, connecting to the body and understanding ourselves is the vital part of Deham. In order for us to experience and understand our own body, then we're able to guide others in that understanding as well. So with that, we're understanding our somatic personality, and we will be creating a personalized self-care plan for ourselves that will help us as well navigate the stages of sensation and building a healthy identity for ourselves. We are also going to look into somatic self and complete health, somatic expansion and transformation. Jivasu mentioned the 5 traumas and how to heal them. We're going to explore that as well. We're going to get into the science and energy of chakras. Again, something that's quite important in understanding who we are. Nod yoga practices, professional competency, ethics, and teaching skills. So not only are we going to teach you, help you, teach you Deham yoga, but we're also going to teach you how to take Deham and incorporate it into your own teachings, as well as, teach with authenticity and calmness and clarity and confidence, and also build your Deham yoga business. So if you are looking, if you're a new teacher and you're looking to create a Deham business, that opportunity is there. We're going to teach you how to do that. And we'll also let you know how to bring that Deham into the practice that you may already teach. Next slide, Jivasu. Okay, perfect. So your investment is going to get you a 200-hour Canada Yoga Alliance teacher training certification. We have 160 contact hours, and this is done over 20 weeks on Saturdays from 10 to 6 p.m. The day is split up into 5 components, so 3 of which are teaching components and 2 will be practicing portions, where you'll be practicing with the students within the class, learning the sequence of the Deham practice, as well as some traditional practices as well. The class size is only 20 students. So if you are interested, I do suggest getting in there right away so that we don't sell out before you make it. You're also going to have access to Soham studio classes throughout your training. So anything that we have offered here at Soham, you will be able to come and join, because we would love for you, like Jivasu mentioned, there are some really great practices that are wonderful besides Deham. So we want you to participate in those. We'll also have access to a library of the online classes offered by Dr. Jivasu. He has a huge, so much content and wonderful teachings. So you'll have access to that. We'll be offering weekly office hours. So if you have any more questions or need any extra support in your training, either Jivasu or one of the other teachers will be available weekly in order for you to come on and ask any questions. Like Jivasu mentioned, we are going to have a personal development section of this. It's very important. It will include some coaching questions, a journal for your practices, making notes, really getting to know yourself and who you are. Again, Deham business building strategies, body wisdom practices, breathwork, meditation. We're also going to, like I said, learn the 5 traumas, mental and emotional health regulation, understanding the science of energy and chakras, comprehending the levels of samadhi and consciousness. And we're going to master the Deham class structure and learn how to teach with authenticity. So your investment is getting you so much more than just these 200 hours. It's really going to be life-changing for you. So what's it all going to cost? No problems here. We've got a super early bird rate going on right now, and this is available until November 4th. So that's $2,559. That is taxes all included there. So this, like I said, super early bird available until November 4th. Then from the 5th until the end of the year, we still have a beautiful early bird rate where you're saving quite a bit there as well, $2,909. And then the regular price after the new year will be $3,199. We do have payment plans available. The super early bird, no plan for that one. But the early bird rate and the regular rate do have payment plans available, and those go for 5 months. So if there's any issues, not issues, but if you would like to take advantage of the payment plan, not a problem at all. Once you register, we will be in touch to coordinate all that for you. We also have another opportunity to become a student of Deham through our scholarship program. So we're offering 2 scholarships, a $500 scholarship. So that is, you pay the $500 with the taxes included. And then we have one there that is $1,000 as well. We also have other opportunities with energy exchange. Now, this is quite unique, where if you have something you would like to offer our studio in exchange for a discounted rate from your tuition, you can do that as well. So some examples could be, maybe you're a graphic designer and you want to offer some services for Deham. There, maybe you want to offer cleaning the studio on a weekly basis, or setting up and tearing down the room before or after our sessions. So these are all different ways where you can, we can do an energy exchange, and each of those has their own currency or different exchange rate depending on what you're offering. In order to participate in our scholarship program, applications are going to be open Friday, November the 1st. There will be a video submission and a written portion submitted online. So there'll be a form that you'll fill out. You'll submit your video along with the form. And all of those applications are due on Sunday, December 15th. And then we announce the winners, I guess you call them winners, of the scholarships on Monday, December the 23rd, right before Christmas, to give you a beautiful Christmas present from Soham and Deham Yoga. So if you have any questions regarding any of the pricing or anything like that, please do not hesitate to contact either Jivasu or myself at Soham Studio. You can check out more information regarding Soham Studio or sorry, Deham Yoga at sohamstudio.ca/Deham Yoga. And with that, we thank you very much and open it up for questions, I guess, Jivasu?
I sent a question about education, if the Canadian government recognizes it. I don't know who responded to that, but they were going to look into it and have an answer for me for today. Just, I don't know if that's, so the Canadian government recognizes some of the yoga studios, and so you can get a tax receipt. It's a T440 or something, I forget what number it is, but it's, you can actually claim it on income tax.
Right.
But I don't know if anybody got the answer for that or not.
I did not find the answer completely. I did do some research, but I didn't find, it didn't look like, it didn't look like it to me. However, like I said, I can also look a little bit further into this for you and try to see if there's a more solid answer. Now, I also don't know, maybe if connecting with your RESP, I guess it is through the government, right? It's through Government of Canada. If they might have an answer, but I will look further into this for you. I'm sorry, I did not get you a full answer today.
Some of the studios in Toronto have been recognized for it. There's one in Calgary as well.
Okay.
So I just wondered if, because you can apply RESPs to it, which is the Registered Education Funds towards it. So I just was curious if that was possible or not. So, and I don't know if you guys have to do something to go through hoops to be recognized for that. So
that is possible. So I will look into that a little further, Nancy. Okay.
So this whole training will be coming online in the future.
Yeah, and not far in future, next year. We are starting in February, so that may be another 2-3 months maximum.
So that means I should opt for the next batch, not now.
That's
Doesn't
right.
make sense to me, yes, because I cannot come to Canada.
No, sir, no question. By the way, I'll introduce Dr. Ramesh. He was 1 year senior to me in my medical school. I did pediatrics and you did, sir, orthopedics.
Orthotrauma, yes.
Orthotrauma. So no, it will be online program. It will be next year and you will be the part of it. Right.
Okay. So that was so now I'm clear that it's there. Now, you people are saying teachers program. So you want us to be teachers. Now, so you're also going to teach us how to teach. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, it's all the theory and practical is what we should teach exactly as you people teach. Is that what is expected? Because people are different. Everybody is unique. Things change. They have their own ways of presenting it. So would that hinder somebody from teaching?
Not at all. The reason being what we are giving a framework in which experiences can be integrated. Because unless I change the whole teaching according to my experience, then it is going to be a robotic teaching. Because I will very quickly tell you what we are giving you information and practice. So second step will be from information to reformation. You are going to change it. Third will be sin formation.
What is sin? What is sin formation?
This is not a word in dictionary. I have to invent it. Sin formation means synthesis of information.
Okay, it was SYN, not SIN.
No. So all your knowledge and experience now comes into you, and that becomes.
And you synthesize, yes.
Yeah, and that is the last step before another one comes called transformation. So from
transformation is a known word, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Good. So information, reformation, sin formation, and transformation. And what we are going to give you the first step. All the practices, all the information. Now it will get life because You are changing it according to your personality and experiences.
But original traditions there you cannot change, right?
Yeah, actually,
They were very, very dogmatic.
no, not at all here. Otherwise, if I follow some other person, how I can reach my goal?
And it's clear, it's clear. You're open.
Yeah.
You're open to it and you understand that everybody is unique. That's good.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. My God. I wish I was there for this February program.
You will be, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever happens, happens for the best. I wish you all the best. And register me as the first student when you start the online program. Because I wanted to be the first here also.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Any other question about the practical part, the theory, philosophy, anything? Yes, Angie. Oh, Bridget first, and then Angie, we will come to you.
Sorry. I just wanted to know what's the start date and the end date for the teacher training?
The start date is February 8 and end date I forgot, so I think you will get it from Crystal or Matt very soon.
And then the other question I had too was like, what styles would we be able to teach after like we do the teacher training? Like, would we be able to apply what we learn in this teacher training to different styles of yoga?
Because this style of yoga is a combination of hatha yoga, which are mostly classical poses.
Okay.
Of course, we will add Kundalini poses also, but also somatic yoga. So it will be a combination of both. Because if you have a vulnerable population, people are sick, still they want to do yoga, they are partially paralyzed, or they are very old, very stiff body, then you will choose to teach a somatic yoga because anybody can do it. Even if they are able to lift one arm, they will able to do. But other people who are more enthusiastic, young, strong body, and that will be hatha yoga. So it will depend on person to person almost. So you will have tremendous freedom in that sense.
Okay, that's more or less what I was kind of asking, is if you could just take like, oh, I could apply it and teach a class as maybe like a hatha class, but I can also apply it to teaching a Kundalini class or a Soma class or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Crystal, did you find the end date? Meanwhile, I'll take the question from Angie. I think Angie has a question.
I just add something to that, Jivasu, too.
Mm-hmm.
So just answering a bit more with Bridget is that you're also going to learn like about like discovering your personality and those elements where you actually it's almost discovering the yoga within you to become the teacher, which you can then apply and teach. Even if discovering your personality is something that you really fell in love with, that could be that could be something that you could teach to people as well, or understanding like the traumas and stuff like that. So it doesn't even have to be the structure asana class, right? The structure asana class is just a very small portion of the practice. It's actually having this yoga throughout your day and having yoga unite with you, basically, or link with you, I should say. So it's experiencing it to its fullest, and then your creative portion can come and can really develop from there.
When you say teacher, sorry, is there somebody waiting? Please finish up.
Yeah, Angie, I think Angie had a question.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to say thank you, Jivasu and Crystal and Matt, for and those not here today, for putting together this program. I'm so excited. It seems really comprehensive, and I love that you have added in aspects about how to bring this into form with the business. And so I guess I kind of have a question, but not really a question, more just, I'm one of those people who's like certified in a bajillion things and I love to study, but I'm like so scared to actually step into the world and and start teaching. So yeah, if I missed it, forgive me, but I was curious, like how many hours of the program will be dedicated to actually, you know, shoving us out into the front and getting us to practice the teaching, because for some reason it just seems like such a difficult divide for me.
Mhm. Right. I will answer the first part, and then Crystal and Matt, you can. Well, as Crystal mentioned that we are running multiple programs, and some of those programs are free and online. And if you want to teach, you can start with that. With 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want, because those forums are created to develop confidence in teaching. Because that is very important, not only for others, it is for you, because as I mentioned, maximum learning happens when you start teaching. 90%. By listening, another thing, practice, you learn only 15, 20, 30%, 40%. So we will make sure if you join that component is emphasized. And as I mentioned, this program will be also one-on-one as far as I'm concerned. I'll be available, because to me, it is not that we have 20 students and then they departed, they got their certificate. No, we are linked for the life. Goal is to teach and also reach, attain the highest. We will never allow that goal to be covered by fog or smoke. No. So those two components. So we are with you. We are going to walk together.
So to answer the rest of your question there, Angie, well, to Bridget's question, June 21st should be the end date, around that time. So 20 weeks after we start on February 8th. Our contact hours, we're at 160. So 160 contact hours, that's based on those 20 sessions. And then like Jivasu said, there's other opportunities as well to learn from the online library. There's also, you know, you have access to Soma studios. So we'll have Deham classes on the schedule, so you can come in and practice more in terms of being within the classroom. You can also practice other yogas as well. And I think being amongst other teachers also kind of gives you an idea how you might want to teach as well. With our teacher training, there are going to be opportunities where everyone's going to have to do a presentation, right? So we're going to, you know, teach you the Deham structure of what the class looks like, and then we'll be breaking off together and kind of teaching each other and feeling ourselves out, right? Feeling what feels good to you, so that when you do leave the program, you do have that level of confidence where you're like, okay, I don't have to be this person. You've learned, okay, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to teach this. So it doesn't feel like a struggle, because it's just you're doing you're just sharing this amazing knowledge that you've learned, and guiding people to explore themselves as well.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Angie. Sir, please go ahead. You had a question.
Yes. Matt, you were talking about personalities. Are we teaching even the nutrition aspect for those personalities, and what kind of food are we going to be eating with the yoga practices? Is something there?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
there will be a very big emphasis on food, and the simple reason is so much researches came about gut health.
okay.
Because it is not only affecting, you know, our gut, it is affecting our emotions, our mental state, our immunity. And you will be surprised that personality part of it we got from Ayurveda, and personality in Ayurveda is established in the gut. So that is a very important, because sleep, the number one component, and number two, food. And food, not only quantitative point of view, but qualitative. Because quantitative part is carbohydrate, fat, protein, minerals, vitamins. I think everybody knows. But we will take it to qualitative according to personality.
Are you talking of herbs also when you say qualitative?
No, qualitative
Not the
means
Ayurvedic herbs?
no. We
Okay.
won't go
Only the
into-
food. Okay.
Yeah, like texture, flavor,
Okay.
taste, fasting, those kind of elements will all come into food discussion.
Okay. Seems to be very comprehensive. Good. I'm really happy. Thrilled. I'm looking forward. When you do online, is it going to be recorded or what is it? Some of it is recorded?
It will be recorded fully.
No, that so do we have contacts then? Contact, because here you have almost full Saturday's contact. So we won't have to do that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because it will be recorded, recording will be sent to you. That is
Even
what-
though we will not, yeah. I mean, is that 8 hours of contact, are we going to have contact programs also, is what I'm asking, in the online component?
Yeah, so Matt will answer that. Are we recording at least the part of the in-person program or not?
We are going to have online, like in-person live classes, as well as some portions may be recorded. But there will be some online regular classes, and then the yoga practice, the yoga asana classes, those will be live as well. All those classes, all those yoga asana classes will be live, just to answer questions, and we can monitor and see where everybody's at.
Okay, fine. And it'll be the same number of hours or a little lesser because it's online?
It will be only, I think, 2.5 hours, because
Okay,
online we cannot tolerate more than 2 to 2.5 hours.
Okay, fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it is very tiring.
Yeah. Because I was just wondering, how are we going to go from 10 to 6?
No,
And
no,
that's quite
no,
a
no.
lot. Yeah.
It will be
Physically is different. Yeah.
no, physically no, because online is very tiring for such a long time.
And the same time period?
Uh,
No, longer.
6 months?
uh,
I think we said online.
I will send you, but it will be definitely longer. I think it will be longer
Okay.
than 6 months. I'll send you the
It
date.
No. It's okay. It makes sense. It makes sense online because we don't have contact with you people. So we
Yes,
need to learn more by asking.
right.
Perfect. It's so wonderful. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, in respect of time, any other questions, or are we clear? As clear can be.
Oh, I have one last question. Is this all Canadian dollars?
Yes,
So what's the difference in Canadian and US dollars?
significant.
Is it?
Yeah, I think 25% less in US dollars, so it's significant.
That's
Hi,
Please.
it's Autumn. This is maybe not a great question. So when you go to the link online about these sessions, do you register through that? Is that where the registration is, or do we contact Matt and Crystal? Do we contact you?
If you go to Soham Studio, there's a drop-down menu that says yoga, and then it says teacher training. So
Oh,
if
okay.
hit that button. It'll take you to where all the Deham information is, and there will be an area there. It should be down at the bottom with the super early bird rate that's available right now for booking. We're also going to get up on there the scholarship information and the link for that, so that come November 1st, that'll be up there and people can start submitting as well. So just go to sohamstudio.ca, go drop down menu yoga, teacher training, and all the info's there.
Okay.
And then
Thanks.
once
Thank
the
you.
next the early bird rate, then that'll be there as well. So once the date and the times, once one rate is done, the next one will be available.
Gotcha. Thanks.
You know, by the way, it was so easy with the email. All I did was click, read it, and the next step was payment. It came to the transaction, and that's when I wrote the message to Jivasu.
Right.
I
So
wrote to
it
the
was
message, I
easy.
want to do the transaction. Can I go ahead?
Yeah. No, I miss
It's very simple. I didn't have to go to your website or anything. It automatically, everything, I don't know. I think it's Matt who set it up or what?
Yes.
Yes. He's nodding very less. He doesn't want to. It's great. Just to tell you, it's very simple, down to earth, absolutely fun. Okay.
Nancy,
Thank you.
please.
No, I'm good. Thank you. This has been great.
Okay, great. So I think with that, Matt and Crystal, I think we must conclude this session, and I will conclude with 3 lines, which is a part of all Deham program. May we all live for more than 100 years in peace. May we all live for more than 100 years in bliss. May we all live for more than 100 years with creative vitality and passion. Because that is how we want to live a long life. So thank you very much for joining. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Crystal.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.